Hey everyone, welcome back to another dungeon guide. I'm a Straw Hat, and a few more dungeon guides have been requested. Most recently, Pulma. So we're going to go ahead and head on over to Pulma and get started. First, I kind of want to show you guys exactly how to get there. There's two ways you can get here. They're both pretty easy. They're from the main cities. First one I'll be talking about is Andaria. I think that's the easiest way to get here. You're going to want to exit from the south side of Andaria, southwest. So over here, the bridge, if you can see my cursor on the southwest side, the southwest exit rather of Andaria, go up the bridge. You could follow either path. They go to about the same location. End up here by the logging camp, and you're going to want to run all the way up through the mountains, through the Dragon Roost, across the dam area here, right into Pulma. All right, so since we're already at Pulma, let's get on in there. Pulma recently got a huge boost in mob density. For the longest time, at least really, the 3 months that I've been playing here, I tended to avoid Pulma, just like I did with Darkmire. Now, I don't think Pulma's quite as bad. It's got some poison mobs. But mainly the issue was that there just wasn't enough to go around. And since then, they've doubled the demon spawns. In fact, they've doubled most every spawn down on level 3, which has made Pulma a great place to farm now. And getting back into the spirit of the dungeon guides here, level 1, it's just a level 1, guys. This might be the only tricky part right here. A ton of people tend to run right through here and get stuck with these writhing tentacles. They don't drop much, they're just kind of a pain. If you get stuck with them, rope on out, you'll be paralyzed for a second, or you'll get stuck like me again. I don't recommend farming on level 1. You're not going to make a ton of gold on it. It's just a bypass. Now, level 2, you can start to make some gold. There's a couple little spots that I would recommend on level 2 as a moderate level player. Say you're aspect level 4 or 5. First one's pure water, living water. They drop a few hundred gold apiece along with these guardians. They're not too difficult, but there are quite a few of them, so you're going to want to take your time, pull one at a time. And same thing with this section here. If you don't have cure pots on you, avoid the reef serpent. Deadly poison, not much to be said about that. In the next spot on level 2, you're going to have dark waters, some beetles, some deep crawlers. They drop about 200 to 400 gold apiece. I'd say worth killing, again, if you're a moderate level player, right around the tier 4 to 6 aspect range. You'll kill them relatively quickly, you'll make decent gold, it's worth your time. The next section of level 2, if you're looking to farm in a route, just to go back and forth, this corner here, beetle, deep crawler, crab, you'll net about 600 to 700 gold. Reef serpent, deep crawler, roughly 500 gold there. And then you'll have the water drakes and water dragons, about 300 gold on the dragons, maybe 150, 200 on the drakes. You'll make about 1,000 gold here as well. So if you cycle all of level 2, you're looking at about 3,000 to 4,000 gold if you're killing everything that I just showed you. And there is one more spot. But first, I'm going to clear these before I go up there. Even at my level, the mobs up here still have a high chance of killing me. So unless you're aspect level 8 or higher, I don't necessarily recommend taking these on unless you have a way to mitigate a lot of magic damage. So as you can see, I'm going to start off in defensive stance. I'm also going to be running Bulwark. These things will hit me hard. Skill scroll off the bat, I like that. Animal taming, oh boy. You know, I don't actually plan on making a tamer on this server. I know a lot of people do. It's the thing to make. People are all about command cores. I look at that price tag, 60k a core, no thank you. All right, so it looks like I won't be able to show you this section today, but typically you're going to have 3 water sorcerers here. They don't have a ton of health. They're your typical earth, water. What are the other ones? I think there might be a fire one, maybe, maybe not. Either way, there's a blood one. They've got about roughly 400 to 600 health. The main thing about these guys is their offense. They're going to pump damage into you via spells. But the thing to look out for here is a water deity. I don't know the exact name off the top of my head. I think it's a water spirit. Maybe it drops about 800 to 1,000 gold. Roughly the equivalent to a demon in terms of what you get. But frankly, they're twice as difficult as the demons. They do a consistent AoE that's it's like flame strikes that come up all around you. I'd love to show it to you, but unfortunately it's dead at the time. And again, if you want to take that on, feel free, but I highly recommend being at least aspect level 8 or above. But let's get down to the meat of Pulma. Let's go down to level 3. Level 3 is no joke now with the high spawn. I think there are about 3 fen demons, roughly, which we'll start with those. roughly, let's see, 2, 4, 6 water demons down in Pulma now. And then we'll start off here in the swamp section. So what you're going to find here is a bunch of poison types. It's very similar to Darkmire. I don't personally enjoy farming this section. If you're a summoner, a tamer, someone who's not going to worry about poison, farm it all day. Not a problem. As a pure Dexer, I don't feel like going through 30 cure pots in one farm session, so I typically avoid it. I know I've got Chivalry. Still not my thing, though. So I prefer the water demons and everything else in this area. So running on through, we get to the normal side here, or the water side, as it is a water dungeon. Precursor Operator, I don't recommend killing them. Not worth it. They drop like 200, 300 gold. Prone to doing a lot of damage to you. You're going to get some mechanical units here along with Dark Water. Highly recommend killing these. They're not difficult at all. It's 300 gold to kill. So you'll get about 4 or 5 of those guys right down in here. Nothing special to them. Standard mobs. Here we've got a Skeletal Water Dragon, or Drowned Dragon in this case, along with a Water Demon. I'd love to show you the Water Demon. Hopefully I get one here to myself in a second to show you the mechanic. But essentially it's a pushback. Right there. There you go. It'll knock you back a yard or 2 or 2 tiles. Nothing crazy. Might do 30 damage to you. Other than that, the Drowned Demons are nothing to worry about. They're not pushovers. They're not reanimated demons. They're not the blood demons. They're somewhere in between, I'd say, molten demons and the other two. Drop the standard demon amount. 800 to 1200 gold apiece. Absolutely worth killing. This is what you're going for when you come down to Pulma. This is where all the money's at. You can have a higher chance of rares, spell UD, gold, farm the Drowned Demons. The Precursors aren't really worth it. The Mantises aren't worth it. Very few things in Pulma are, other than the demons, the Dark Waters, and the large mechanical guys. The Feasters, or Feeders I think they're called, or Deep Devourers. They all look like those standard guys who will bleed you for a ton of damage. Do a lot. They don't hit you that often with the Devour, but when they do, it's chunking it. It's about 30 damage of a bleed per tick. If you're a Dexer and have Chivalry, you can cut that down to half, but that's still 15 a tick. It's nothing to mess with. So if you're at half health and they hit you with that, you better top off your healing pretty quick, otherwise you will die. And like all the other spawns in Pulma, they've buffed up those spawns as well. Where there used to be 2 near the entrance on level 3, there's now 3 of them. And then right up here where I'm going next, there should be 2 of them. So we'll go ahead and kill those real quick. They're about 200 to 300 gold apiece. I'd say they're worth killing. Just be careful. If I can show you the disease or bleed they put up on you, I will here in a second. But these are the guys I'm talking about. Other than the disease and bleed, you don't have much to worry about with these guys. And while I'm down here, I'm going to show you guys where to find the mini boss and boss room, and also the drain in the pool here. And as we go a little further north, we're going to get some, I believe they're befuddlers. Yep, they're going to drop some ink AoE. Does a little bit of damage. If you sit in it for a while, it'll chunk you, but don't stand in the fire, guys. MMO common sense, right? You see something on the ground, just step out of it, you'll be fine. Nothing to worry about. If you're aspect level 3 or 4, you can handle these guys like they're nothing. About 200 gold on that guy. I think you'll get a Sea Hag up here. It's essentially a stealth caster who teleports around. Just a pain in the butt if you're a Dexer. Range, Tamer, Summoner, not a problem. Worth killing though, get some regs. It's essentially a doppelganger if you're familiar with those. I know I highlighted those in the Aegis guide I did. But running down into the pool here, these Skeletal Dragons are worth killing, but they have an AoE. And that AoE, as you can see, tends to do quite a bit of damage. So if you get more than one on you, you might be in trouble. So I do recommend pulling them apart if you're able, or at least killing one at a higher distance away from the other so it doesn't aggro on you. But worth killing, about 300 to 400 gold like I showed you earlier. So this is where the first boss room is going to be. We're going to run up into the mini here, which is this pathway as you get down from the pool section. And in here you're going to have a Sea Hag and a Tidal Mantis. Essentially 400 gold, maybe another 60. Looking right around 500 gold for killing these. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Sea Hag casting some big spells, chunked me for 37. Here's the mini boss room. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this one. I'm not going to go over bosses today, but I would recommend checking every boss room. It's not something I've said in my other guides. But bosses are good loot. It doesn't take a lot of people to kill a mini boss as long as your aspect levels, say, around 7 or higher, and you know the mechanics. This will be the main boss room. There's 2 entrances. One right next to the mini boss room, which you just saw me run through. and the one will run out too. And be careful as you run out in this next one. There will be a couple demons there if no one's farming it. Drowned demons. Now they can kill you if you have more than one on you, because they will spam that AoE that knocks you back. If you're a caster or someone who relies on not being interrupted or can't take too much damage, they can chunk you down. But again, standard demon, nothing too special about them. Not going to spend much more time killing them for you, just kind of highlighting the AoE here. And then in regards to the center of the room, you're going to find 2 more demons, some wardens. Wardens are worth killing. They have a lot of health, but they drop about 400 to 500 gold, so definitely worth your time. I do not recommend fighting everything over there at once, no matter how strong you are, unless you're a tamer or a summoner who has got a pet to eat all those hits. Because those technologists, those operators, the humanoids, they don't drop much gold, but they hit pretty hard. I don't really know why that is. I assume it's because they don't have a lot of health, but they are a pain in the butt. And here's the triple devourer part. I would avoid this if you're a Dexer. Don't even mess with it. I'm not going to. I don't feel like dying. 3 of those guys, if 2 of them drop the bleed on you, I think you're done for, even with chivalry. So I highly recommend just avoiding that location. And that's Pulma, guys. Nothing special about it other than that the actual spawn rate has increased. It's a good farm now. It's still not as popular as most of the other dungeons. So if you go at the right time of day, you're going to have all of Pulma to yourself. You should be in and out of there with a full bag of gold, regs, loot, roughly 10 to 15 minutes. It's a good farm. If you guys have any ideas on which ones you'd like to see next, drop a comment for me. Kind of just winging it right now for you. I'm eventually going to get to all the dungeons, of course, so if you're patient, just want to wait for them to come on out, that's cool. But if you have one that you've been dying for me to do next, leave a comment. I'd be happy to get to it. Hope you guys have a great day. See you around.